call this meeting to order. Welcome, everybody. We will start first with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now have a moment of silence. Thank you. Be seated. First item is roll call. Chief Schilling.
Present.
Gordon Nash.
Present.
Dave Albritton, absent. Mike Londeris.
Present.
Jeannie.
Present.
Stackhouse. And Heather. Thank you. We do have enough for a quorum. We will now take a look at the minutes from the September 3rd meeting. Entertain a motion to approve if there are no questions or concerns.
I make the motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Jeannie, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Gordon, thank you. Any discussion, further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Heather? I want to welcome our visitors and local media. We'll go into reports, oral and written. The first one is Lutheran EMS. Thank you.
All right. Well, good evening.
Good evening.
So you will see in August, we had a total of 503. That is the busiest month of August that we've had in the last 10 years, actually. So our 911 call volume at the end of August was up 22% over 2023. We really aren't surprised by that when we look at the population of Kosciuszko County and how it continues to grow, and especially here in Warsaw-Wayne Township with the amount of apartments and the amount of just extracurricular activities happening in the community. We expected that. That's why our truck that went from 8 hours, it went now to 12 hours, because we need that expanded hours and that expanded coverage. And that was continued throughout the month of August. But as you see, as you go through your response times, again, those continue to stay. We've had, again, like I was mentioning last month in July, a lot of critical calls, a lot of higher level calls, a lot of very sick people. But fortunately, we were able to keep those pretty local. And so you'll see your response times from dispatch to in service right back at 45 minutes. So we were able to go get the patient, get them taken care of, and to a hospital within that hour limit that we like to keep it to. The hours report, you'll see that we're starting to see more calls earlier in the morning, which is pretty easy when you start thinking about school and school back in session. A lot of people are up moving around earlier and earlier in the morning, and so we kind of see this trend. And then during the winter months, it will kind of decrease into later hours of the day, and then later into the evening. But this is a pretty normal trend that we see through our data. So. Otherwise, during the month of August, we spent a lot of time with our back to school program. So we partnered with the Community Foundation and did some back to school gifts and stuffed some backpacks, which was really a good team building exercise that we did. But otherwise, any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Okay.
No? Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you very much.
That'll take us to the Territory Monthly Fire Activity Report. Chief?
Yeah, so we had 299 responses in the month of August. 85 of those incidents were overlapping to make that 28%. We had 6 fire calls. 6, and then so in those fire calls, and then the next item there on the page 1 is the mutual aid given and received. So we gave mutual aid to Leesburg twice and Syracuse Fire Department once. I will note that we were canceled on the Syracuse one. That was a dive call with a plane wreck that they had up on Lake Wawasee. So we did end up getting canceled on that one. So we didn't actually make it all the way up there, but we still count it as we gave them aid. And then we received mutual aid from Winona and Leesburg at Walmart, where we had a chemical leak and a spill. Winona Lake again for a house fire on Union Street, and then Claypool Fire Department as well for a vehicle accident. Moving on to the bottom of page 1 still, the excessive heat and scorch. I've had some questions over that. That is basically something got hot enough to scorch and create burns, but it didn't actually ignite and cause a fire. So we did have one, I would consider that a close call, almost a structure fire, but not. And that was in Station 17's district, or the Main Street downtown station. Medical calls, we had 199 for the month. Hazardous conditions, no fires, 12. Service calls, 7. Good intent calls, 19. False alarm calls, 23. And then bringing the district totals for Station 17 for the month of August, 124, 112 for Station 13, and then 31 for Station 15, and then 31 cares as well. We trained for a total of 483.25 hours on medical assessments, geriatric emergencies, forcible entry, pump operations, an Inspector 1 course, on ladders, driver operator stuff, and then the NFPA 1410 drill is also a driver operator drill that we do. So that's what that is. So a lot of driver operator training with our new hires. We wanted to get them driving the apparatus and that. So a lot of EVOC things, a lot of driving and pumping and those sort of things to get them cleared off and them able to drive. As far as community service, again, we visit the schools, so we had 5.25 hours of community service or public education back visiting the schools at Sacred Heart, Washington, and Madison, and then several tours as well of the fire station. Then the next pages there is just overlapping incidents and what they were and all that. So I don't have anything else unless anybody else has any questions.
That overlap numbers seem to be pretty steady.
Yeah, they are. I would say this is pretty low. Typically, they're in the 30s, high 30s, middle of the road 30s, anywhere from 32 to 38 typically is where it is. So for it to be 28, but again, of those overlapping, some of those calls can be calls where, one call could take all 3 stations, and then we have an overlapping call and we have to call for mutual aid to come in and take that call. Or one call could be just one station goes out and then another call just takes it. And it could be 2 stations are out and then 1 are out. So just because they overlap doesn't mean that we still have resources available that we can handle it. Most of the time, the overlaps are 2 companies or more, so 2 stations or more responding on those calls. So we deplete our
Right.
resources that we have locally.
Overlap number 11, you had 7. Yeah, and a total
Yeah.
of 35. You said 28, right?
It was 28%.
28%.
28%.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Other questions from board members? If there are none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the monthly response reports.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mike. Is there a second?
I'll
Go ahead, Jeannie.
second.
Thank you, Jeannie. There's a motion and a second to accept as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. CARES update. Thank you. Yes.
So I did hand out the form that we usually use. We had 59 contacts for CARES in the month. You'll note that some of those were follow-up phone calls or significant phone calls. We had Michaela attend a car seat technician program put on by Lutheran EMS so that she can get checked off and help people with car seats. Karen currently is the only other person that does that for us. So we have people that will come in and ask to have their car seat checked. So we added Michaela to that. We helped out with Family Safety Day down at the park, which was a hit. I don't know how many people went through there, but it seemed fairly busy for quite a while. Always a good time. The CARES folks maintained a tent right in the middle of everything, and they had 22 local resources in there. So people could come in and just meet different resources that are in our community. So it was a good partnership building day, and it was really good for some people who maybe didn't know something existed as a resource. So that was good. They also, Michaela and Officer Francis from Warsaw PD taught a CIT class that's a 40-hour program on crisis intervention training. They had 26 students there. It's a 40-hour program, so it takes one full week. There were people there from the jail, multiple different area police departments. I think there was some folks there from home detention. Am I missing anything, Chief? I think that was it for the most part, right?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was, I forget the police department, but one of the police departments was.
Bluffton.
Bluffton, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no jurisdiction, right?
Yeah.
yeah. from quite a
So
ways away, so.
what the Bluffton folks told us was they love what we're doing up here, and they wanted to come up and see what that was all about, so they could try to start something like that in their area. So I think that's great that we're a leader in that idea. Certainly not the only one. Other communities are doing the same thing, but I like that they're coming up here to our training, so that's good. As always, mental health navigation is a big need for us every month as we do things, elder care. And then on the back of the program, you see just the different categories and where we're at month to month. So I think there's a lot of different stuff in there. We also did partake in the opioid program we did out at the high school through the R-Corp grant, paid for that. And we had about 50 attendees come to that program. We brought in a guest speaker, a judge from out in Colorado who talked about her family's battle with opioid addiction. And we had about 50 local people attend that. So that was a good program as well. Any questions?
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
I'll entertain a motion to accept as presented.
I so move.
Motion to approve. Thanks, Gordon. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Mike. Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you. And again, thanks, Chris. That'll take us to the monthly expenditure reports. We have the operating fund 2243. Chief?
Yeah, it all looks normal to me. There was, let's see if I can find it on what page it was. Mike asked a question about one of the transfers. I forget what page is on. Did you remember, Mike, what page that was on?
I don't think it was this.
Oh, that's right. It
report.
was the equipment replacement. I'm
It was the
sorry.
next one.
Yeah, all these look like normal expenditures, nothing out of the ordinary, unless any of you have any other questions for it.
Questions for the chief on the operating fund 2243?
Make a motion to approve, accept.
Okay, there's a motion to accept this
2243.
report as presented. Is there a second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. That'll take us to the equipment replacement fund 4410, Chief.
Yes, so this was the one that I was referring to. I apologize. So on the bottom of page one, you will see the transfer of $23,000. So that was, again, we're back to July on these. So that was our transfer to pay. We didn't transfer the money to pay for the parts for the ladder truck when we sent it to get fixed until we were invoiced. So we waited to transfer that money until we were invoiced. So that transfer shows up in this month,
Which makes perfect sense.
even though we asked for permission to transfer that money, I believe it was May.
I-
I'd have to go back through the minutes and look, but earlier on, we had asked for it, and we never transferred it until we were invoiced for that bill. So that's what that $23,000 transfer is.
And I assume that truck's working just Murphy.
It is not. It was taken out of service about a week ago. We had to replace another module on it. It
Sorry,
came
I
back in
asked.
service and was down again this morning for another issue. So
my.
it is, we are ready for, between that and engine 17 that runs downtown, the trucks we ordered need to be here sooner than later.
Yeah.
So we're working through it though. Luckily, Damien at the street department, with the help of Dustin, is a huge asset for us at the territory. Typically, when our stuff goes down, he's right there. Whether he's at home, he comes in and helps it. So a huge shout out to Dustin and the Public Works Department for that.
We're so fortunate.
They are, they save us a lot of money in labor. So
And possibly somebody's life.
that is, yes. We still do, when it does go down, we still do have Winona Lake that has their ladder truck. They'll come in. North Webster just purchased a ladder truck as well. So I could foresee us using them in the future as well if ever needed. So the only other thing in here again is I want to point out, you'll see new hire expenditures in here when it comes to equipment. They are new to us at the fire territory. They are replacements of people that have retired. So they're not necessarily new employees that we're adding. It is just a replacement employee, but they're new to us and we're buying them new equipment and PPE. So you will see their names in the new hire PPE in that, but it is a replacement.
Any other comments, Chief?
Nope, not that I know of.
Any questions from the other board members? I'll entertain a motion to accept as presented.
I so move.
Motion by Gordon, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Jeannie. Any further discussion? Call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
There's no unfinished business. That'll take us to new business. Chief.
Yeah, so this is a CIT mini grant. So like Chief Ansel spoke about our CIT that Michaela's working on, we would like to get Tanya, the other CARES coordinator or CARES navigator, to be trained to help in that. So this is just a grant that the CIT International is going to, basically, they have a grant that will pay for her to go attend the instructor course. It's all online, but it's just permission to apply and also accept that in one, and it was approved by the Board of Works on 9/20.
Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I make the motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 The ayes have it. Thank you. That'll take us to item number 2, Resolution 2024-10-01. Chief.
So this is a resolution that I'm going to take to the Common Council on October 7th. In working on line 2 cuts and working through the budget with the clerk's office for 24, I found some money that we need to transfer for operating supplies, specifically mainly for fuel. So we're asking to transfer $35,000 from the Fire Protection Territory Health Insurance to our operating supplies. So I just wanted you guys to see that kind of ahead of time a little bit with the way the dates fell, but yeah, just wanted your approval on that, and so you guys are aware.
Any questions for the chief on this transfer request?
So I don't have my budget book here, but does that leave us still with a balance there in that health insurance?
Yes, so working, yeah, I worked with the line two cuts coming out from the mayor's office for '24, for our '25 budget. We found a good amount of money in our health insurance that we had budgeted for increases, and we didn't end up having an increase citywide. So we did have a little extra funds in there. So 35,000 of that is going to be transferred, hopefully, if approved, to our operating. And then my line two cut will be $50,000 out of that, out of the fire territory
For 24.
for '24. And again, my first time doing this, so thankful for the mayor's help and the
Yeah.
clerk's office help to
His first time.
help me
too.
through it. So,
Yeah, but he knows that, he's just being kind to me.
Yeah.
But this, again, if approved, will go to the council with a favorable recommendation.
And you're good with this, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I would make a motion that we accept this proposal and approve it.
Motion approved by Mike. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Gordon, for the second. Any further discussion?
Thanks to the chief.
All right, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. Yeah, good. It passes. Thank you. That will take us to the next item on the agenda, travel request. Chief.
yep, so several travel requests here. Some of them, they, just again, where the dates fell and by the time they were turned in and ran through, some of them have already attended these. But firefighter Updike for lithium-ion battery fire course. Firefighter Aaron Bollinger for in-service for his instructor certification. Chief Vansel for Instructor Development Day in Fort Wayne. Captain Drew Schilling for surface water operations. Fire Marshal Jeremy Williams. I will note on the FIAI meetings / trainings, so that is an Fire Inspectors Association of Indiana. They are going to, there's the main group for the entire state, and then there's a northern district, a central district, and a southern district. So the northern district is wanting to host monthly meetings where all the fire marshals in the northern part of Indiana get together. So this will actually be at various locations. I think Fire Marshal Williams is looking into actually next month hosting it here in Warsaw. This first one is going to be in Goshen. So I'm glad that he's getting that camaraderie and the networking opportunities through that. So that is one that's kind of not specific, and it is kind of a blanket one that whenever these meetings are, it's once a month. Him being able to attend those for the rest of the year, and then I would foresee us doing another blanket request for his monthly, and in that he will also get his continuing education hours that he needs for his inspector certification. So I wanted just to make that note on that one. The other one is Lieutenant Max Kinsey for his Fire Officer 2 certification, and then Tanya Jackson, Michaela Bixler, and then Karen Smith for the Northeast Indiana Mental Health Summit in Fort Wayne as well. So Karen is our admin assistant who also at times answers the CARES phone line that is published everywhere. So we wanted her to get that training in case someone called and had an emergency, and she was more than happy to go attend that with the CARES girls. So.
Is there a cost associated with that FIAI meeting schedule?
Yes, so there is a cost for the membership itself, which is, again, we budget for that annual subscription
Right.
every year. But then most of those are he's on duty for, and it's already during his normal working day. So the only cost that we will really have is fuel for him to travel. Other than that, it's his normal wage and that. So.
Is that a monthly?
Yes, it will be a
monthly
monthly meeting.
Okay. So does that create a problem if he's on duty and he's away at one of these meetings? Are we one short, or do you bring somebody in typically to fill that gap?
Nope, he just works it out into his schedule and, just, again, he needs them
It seems like we're always short.
Yeah, he's doing an awesome job. He is, he has a lot of, ideas to take the fire marshal's office and help the fire department in the prevention side to the next step. We're still working through some of those, so I don't want to really speak on those, but he's doing a fantastic job, and I'm very, very happy with our decision
Well, I have no
that we
doubt.
made for
I
that.
guess my concern was, or my question is, if, you know, we're having all these overlaps, we have one guy out one day a month, should we consider maybe having somebody come in
Oh,
to
I see
step
what you.
in while he's gone?
Yeah, so he is not on a truck. He is a Monday through
But it's
Friday.
manpower.
He is correct. You are correct. But most of the time, he does not respond to those calls. He does occasionally, but his main function and his main role is not to respond. It is more to do the prevention and inspections and that sort of thing.
Okay.
That is his
That-
number one job.
That eases my mind.
Now, with that, he still does respond to calls, especially when, he's in between inspections or he's working on, he goes out and does an inspection, comes back to his office to fill out a report. If he's doing that report and it's nothing time sensitive and he doesn't have any other meetings, he will gladly hop in and help out where needed. But,
Okay, so that's, what you're saying is that's not the course of his normal day?
correct,
Okay.
yes.
All right, good, thank you.
Yep.
No further questions.
Any questions from other board members? All of the requests also approved by the Board of Works. You can see they're on the far right. So someone that looks timing issue, but Board of Works is approved and the September ones, and now many of them into October, month of October.
You need a motion, Mayor?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve these travel requests.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, Gordon, I'll give it to you. There's a motion.
Thanks for the
and a second.
explanation.
Yeah.
And, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Other matters that may come before the board, first mentioned it, Chief. Heather, you might have some comments. The Safety Day, very impressive. I was actually there for most of the afternoon, and it was impressive to see what's available for our community. Any comments?
Yes, no, thanks to the committee for putting it on, that's chaired by Heather. A lot of logistics that goes into that, and, yeah, they made it. It wasn't me. Yes, I was a part of it, but it was mostly them, and all the volunteers that helped out to run the courses, and the different activities that we had for the kids. It took a team of everybody and all the vendors and the sponsors. It couldn't have been done without them, so I want to publicly thank all them for all that as well.
I remember also we were, I think, picking up tables, and you mentioned how thankful you were for Larry and his staff to.
Oh, yes,
let us-
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the park.
You took over
It is-
the entire Central Park.
That
Yeah,
we
you
did. And it was for a good cause, so
It
yes,
was, yeah.
yes, thanks to Larry and
Yeah, you
his
said
team
that.
as well, so,
That was, I appreciated that. That was
yeah.
team effort. Thank you. Meeting review. Any questions or comments from board members or anybody in the audience? Okay, if there are none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Or a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Gordon.